progress.
Yes, we are. But solar panels are just one way to make your house more environmentally friendly. And Shelly Pottorf was with Architend, an architectural firm here in Houston that works toward environmentally friendly, environmentally sustainable buildings. Overall these days, how environmentally friendly are our homes and businesses?
Well, we have a ways to go. We're definitely making steps in the right direction. Programs like Lead for Homes and Energy Star, which have become fairly prevalent and a lot of people are familiar with, are definitely moving in the right direction. But we're now ready to take that next big leap, and there's two great programs out there to help us do that. One is Passive House, and the other is the Living Building Challenge.
What's the Passive House?
Passive House basically is a methodology. It starts with this idea that there's an energy budget that we all have to live within. So you and there's a certain amount per year that we should be spending on our energy. And so with Passive House, it teaches us to design to that budget. Instead of just designing the house and then seeing how much energy it uses, we design to that budget, which is about 80% lower than what a typical standard house is. So it's a big leap.
It's kind of difficult these days, though, because you install solar panels, you install recycling systems in your house. That can be expensive just to put them in.
That's right. So that's where Passive House comes in, because if you design the building itself to be 80% more efficient, then that 20% to get to net zero of renewable energy is much, much cheaper and much more affordable and doable. Whereas if your house has to get from 20% energy efficiency all the way down to zero, that's expensive. It's hard. So if you start with a good building, good insulation, very tight, efficient systems, it works.
All right, let's talk about the living house. What's that? How do we get to that, though?
Living Building Challenge. So that one is the whole deal. It's looking at everything. It demands net zero energy, which means that your house is producing as much energy as you're using with renewable systems.
Okay, so, such as solar panels?
Such as solar panels or wind. Yes, that's right. It requires net zero water. So all the water that you're using, you're harvesting from the rain, and then you're recycling the water that you've got. It requires that you offset your building footprint by growing vegetables. I saw there were some segments about that earlier. And also by restoring habitat. And then the big thing is the indoor air quality and the chemicals that are in the building. And that's a big challenge for us right now in the industry.
But there's only 3 living buildings in the world certified?
3. Only 3. And I'm working on the first one in Texas to go for it. It's over at the Monarch School. We're building a 1,100 square foot classroom studio. It's under construction right now. And we're learning how to do it here in this climate. We're learning to do it for the city of Houston, and we hope to be able to replicate that then for everybody.
Yeah, and beyond that, there's really one more big step, and that is actually a regenerative house. A place that you live at actually creates energy. How far away are we from that in this country where it's the norm?
Well, if you consider that we have the technology to do it now. And with things like Passive House, it's becoming more possible to do it and more affordable to do it. So we're really not that far. We're trying to get there by 2030. So there's a program called Architecture 2030, and 2030 is the goal. That's what we're shooting for, and it's time there to start making those leaps, and we know how to do it.
Let's talk about what people can do right now. The average house has an air conditioner, a heater, washer, dryer, those appliances that use a lot of energy. What's the first step you think people should take to go to be more environmentally friendly with their house? Something like solar panels, or what would you do?
No, first I would look at the building. So have an energy audit done on your house, and what they'll look at is where is the house leaking, and first they're going to try and tighten it up. Add some attic insulation is a big one. Most of us are under insulated. Those are the places to start. You want to do all those things before you start thinking renewables.
Okay, we're a long way from being regenerative, but at least you're working on it.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Let us know how the Monarch School turns out.
We'll do it. If people want to come take a look, we have a tour on Monday from 12 to 2.
Good. All right, Shelly Pottorf with Architend here in Houston, working on being environmentally friendly all around.
Yes.
Thank you. Back with more of the E-Cycling Drive, and come see us here at 33.